Hey there, CJ Math students, and welcome to Unit 4, Expressions and Equations. So we're going to first start off by learning how math expresses itself sometimes in different situations. So this will be laying kind of the very foundation of this mathematical language, and then later on throughout the unit we'll be kind of applying this foundation to real-life situations. So a numerical expression is something that contains only numbers. Oops, sorry about that. Only numbers and operation symbols. So numbers and operations I'll call, but does not include an equal sign or an inequality sign. And we'll get to exactly what that means in just a bit. But for this foundation, we have this chart of kind of math keywords, right? So these words here in certain situations mean addition. These mean subtraction, multiplication, and so on with division. Key thing here, the one that's super tricky, are the more than and less than. So less than and more than. Because interpreting those phrases right there often requires us to think a little bit critically about what they're saying. And I'll show you here what I mean in a second. So your Buzz Math level today is going to be writing and evaluating numerical expressions. You're only doing 1 through 7. I highly recommend once I do this problem, pause the video and then do the Buzz Math problem. And then do number 2, pause the video and do the Buzz Math problem. Trust me, if you do it, I feel like you're going to get a really high content score on that Buzz Math level. So number 1, it says select the numerical expression. Select all that apply, so you can have more than one answer. So what does a numerical expression mean? Remember, you're going to have no equal or inequality signs. Yeah, you need to write this down. And you have to have operations. And you have to have an operation. All right? So 11 minus 6, does that fit? Yes, it does. That's an expression, a numerical expression. We don't need to solve that. We don't need to say equals 5. We're just saying, hey, we have some scenario. 11 people were in the room and 6 left. That's it. Well, I didn't ask you, how many people are left in the room. That was just our scenario, right? 2 is not a numerical expression because it does not have an operation. It has to have both, right? No equal sign or inequality sign, but also has to have an operation. That's just a number, 2. Right? 6 plus 2, no, because it's got an equal sign. 3 times 6, no, because it's got an equal sign. 3 plus 3, yes. 18 divided by 6, yes, right? Because those had operations and did not have equal signs, okay? All right, so I would pause that right now and go on to do the Buzz Math number 1, and then play the video and do number 2. All right, hopefully you got number 1 right on Buzz Math. Number 2, so words can be translated into expressions. So we have a word phrase like 5 less than 19. And remember when I told you to star this, really what this means, a lot of you want to say, okay, less than is subtraction. And a lot of you will say, oh, this is 5 minus 19, right? I want you to circle it, cross it off. This is wrong, okay? 5 minus 19, no. This less than phrase really means, okay, we're going to take this 5 and move it to the end, and it's going to be 19 minus 5, right? Think about this critically, right? 5 less than 19. So you have 19 of something, and you want 5 less of something. That's why you're doing 19 minus 5. So that's why that's this one, right? Kind of tricky to think about. But 5 less than 19, it's not you have 5 something and you want to take away 19. No, 5 less than 19, the 5 is going on the opposite side of that 19. 19 times 4, that's a pretty easy operation, 19 times 4, right? 5 less than 19 times 4. So again, we have this less than, so you're going to take this 5 and put it all the way on the other side. So you want to do 19 times 4 first, and then you want to subtract 5 from it. Super tricky. The more you do it, though, the more you'll get it. So match each word phrase to the correct numeric expression. So 17 increased by 11, that's just an addition sentence, right? 17 plus 11. If I were you, when I was doing this on BuzzMath, I would do all the ones I know and use process of elimination from there. All right? 11 less than twice 17. So again, this is that less than, so 11 goes on the end of that, and twice 17 is just 2 times. So we're looking for 2 times 17 and then minus 11, right? Which is this guy all the way down at the bottom. Again, that less than at the end of it. 17 divided by 11, that's just the division sign, so 17 divided by 11, that's this one easily. 17 minus 11, that's straightforward. 17, then a minus sign, then 11. So there's no moving or anything like that. That's just straightforward. 17 minus 11. 17 less than 11, so it's really 11 minus 17, right? Because I have 11 of something and I want to take 17 from it. Okay? All right. I would do 3 and 4, and then that will be the end of part 1. So pause the video right now and try and do number 2 in BuzzMath. All right. Number 3. Exponential notation is just basically repeated multiplication. So if I have 4 to the 4th and they say rewrite using repeated multiplication, all you're going to do in BuzzMath is say 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. Make sure you have 4 4s, right? This exponent tells us how many 4s we need. All right, and you don't need to solve this. It's just an expression, right? An expression, you don't need to solve it. Unless it says evaluate the expression, you do not need to solve it. You just leave it as numbers and operations. Okay? Then do it the opposite way. So write 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 using an exponent. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 4. This is our what we call our base, right? And then what are we multiplying our base times itself? How many times? We're multiplying to the 5th, right? 4 to the 5th. All right, so I'd pause this video right now and do number 3 and then number 4. 2 times 2 is easy, it's 4, and 4 to the 2 is not 4 times 2, it's 4 times 4, which is 16. So make a note, it is not 4 times 2. Circle it, cross it off, it's totally wrong. Okay, you can use the calculator. Put a little note here, use calculator if you have like super huge numbers. I'm okay with that. On the calculator, how do I make this exponent? I would hit 4 and then this little caret button and then 2, and it would give me 16. That's saying, okay, here's my base calculator, multiply my base times itself 2 times, and that's how I get 16. All right, that's the end of part 1.